Hi, Jason here at Time Warp, and I'm going to talk to you today about as-is items, meaning AI, that you would see them on the price. What that does is identify the fact that there is something wrong with this item. Now, I do want to make clear that it may not mean that it doesn't work. It could just be something cosmetic. It could be, it's something as simple as that. So you want to always ask the shop owner or the dealer what's wrong with it. Because it could be something that you could live with and still want to have. So some of the items I put out here are some of the higher items that would be as is, meaning that they are more used throughout time, so therefore, it's highly possible that there could be something wrong with them. Clothing's a good one, because vintage clothing, the older the clothing, the more the possibility that it can be damaged. So some of the things you want to look at are zippers. You want to make sure it zips correctly. You want to make sure the buttons are all intact. Check around the seams, that it's not splitting at the seams, or that there's not any small tiny holes in them, or that it's missing its belt or something like that. The older the clothes get, the more possibility that they could have a little bit of damage. I mean, the older we get, the more damaged we are. Board games are another one. You want to make sure that it has all of its pieces, because even if the shop owner or the dealer does do their due diligence and check it and mark on it that it's complete, the customers still go through it and check for themselves, so they could drop a piece, they could take a piece, pieces get lost. So you want to do your own due diligence when you're buying something from a vintage store and make sure all the pieces are in there. Same with the old vintage tin game toys, because something like this, which is really cool, the fishing game, the box is damaged, and it's got a little tiny chip on the base of it, but yet the game still plays, and it's got great display ability. So you want to check that type of stuff. When you get to telephones and electronics, a lot of times they're untested, and that means that they could have an AI on them. It doesn't necessarily mean they don't work. Especially with electronics, something like this works great. However, it's got a little tiny chip on the corner of it, so possibly you can live with that. Same with clocks. Glass, you want to make sure that you check all of the rims, because flea bite chips can over time of just manual wear. Also with lunch boxes, AI could mean it's missing its thermos, but the lunchbox is in complete condition. Some of the things that you want to make sure of are puzzles. Puzzles are a scary thing to put together and then find out you're missing one piece. We just did that because we put all our puzzles together beforehand, and we spent 4 days putting a puzzle together and it was missing 4 pieces. So you want to make sure that the puzzles are all there, even if you have to pull them apart and count them. Same with old coloring books. It could be something as simple as one colored page. But you want to make sure that you are receiving in the condition that you want it. So you want to make sure that the AI is explained to you, and that the item is identified if there is something wrong with it. So just some tips and hints.